Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So this was one I promised on, I think it's a Netflix documentary called The Cancer Conflict. It recently came up on Netflix, but it looks like it's old. I think it was 2021. And it was two individuals who decided to try alternative treatments. And it did bring back memories of Des Sheeps and Neeps, who also tried alternative treatments when he had cancer and sadly passed away. And those, it always did worry me. Like, I get like why you might want to try alternatives, especially when, if you're on stage 4 and there's nothing that they say, there's nothing else can be done. And I guess in a world where you get lots of people, and some of them I suspect, if not all of them or majority of them, are charlatans who will tell you that they used this and it cleared their cancer. And I don't know whether they give like documentary evidence of like, this is my scan. And because of course you could have been told you had cancer and not actually had it, and then take these things and think you cured yourself, where it could have been a misdiagnosis in the first place. Or like with a lot of these people that claim for this, like it's shown in this documentary, they will take the conventional surgery and chemotherapy or radiotherapy and also take alternatives, and they will put it on the alternatives as what cured them. Now, I get like the mysticism against, pharmaceutical companies because of, like what I argue about a lot is the money aspect of it. And, there's financial gain to keeping certain medicines going, is possible. And, if you could create a tablet that could cure you and you only had to take one, would a pharmaceutical company actually give that out? Or would they try and synthesize it like they do with mobile phones, whereas they can make the best phone and then they, reduce them so they can have something extra each year? I don't know. What do you think? Would you trust? I would like to live in a world where if, like a Louis Pasteur, came up with a tablet that would cure you of cancer, just one tablet, but remember the light bulb that was created that could have lasted forever, and that the company who made light bulbs bought the patent so that couldn't be done because they didn't want one lifetime bulb. They wanted you to keep buying them. So I don't know. I mean, that is maybe why people are mistrustful, because we know how money works. We know how our system works. And that's the problem with it. That's why I always talk about it, why medicine and housing and certain things should be outside of money. And we should all agree upon that as human beings, but we don't, because mainly because those people in power that can make those decisions mostly have the money or access to the money and then don't want to do that. It only benefits the 90% of us who don't have access to these things. But anyway, yeah, it's a really interesting documentary. But yes, it was worrying to hear. Like, yeah, I get it. Like I'm saying, like, but if you're saying, if we're on the understanding that there is a way to test things, and if you test things and you trust people, and I know this is all based on trust, which of course has been eroded over the years, also because of money and the system and etc., is that, if you've got someone who's done some science and has, this has worked and been proven to work. Like no one would question, like if you had a heart operation, no one's going to say, well, I'm going to drink carrot juice because I don't want to have a heart operation, because that, I mean, certain medical conditions are more clear cut, whereas cancer is very aggressive and it's very difficult to treat. It depends how quickly you get it. And maybe I suspect that chemotherapy isn't 100%. As we see, a lot of people go into remission and after 5 years they get cancer again. It's not, I don't think it is, it's not like a 100% cure, like say a heart operation, where, but no one would question that, is it? But what I mean is, if you've got science where something's been tested, but then you've got people like you hear in this documentary who would like completely use untested things, word of mouth from some stranger who's, selling you snake oil, as it were, who would say, yeah, this has cured me, take it. And you're going to go on that? I mean, that to me is like, I wouldn't be able to do that. That seems like, I mean, I know that I have no access to the research that the doctors or GPs will sell you and say it's been done. And maybe it is the same kind of snake oil you're taking. I get it from that point of view, because I wouldn't be able to do the research to verify. Because again, it's based on trust. We trust our NHS, our doctors, that they are, that the research is clinically done efficiently, but we have all these safeguards in the way. But yeah, we know, like with Primodos, etc., that this doesn't always happen. But yeah, it is like especially with I think the lady's called Surinder. With her case, I don't know what stage she was at. She was at an early stage. I think it was just when they found the lump on her breast. If she had had the surgery and chemotherapy, maybe she still would have been alive. But she decided she didn't want to take any surgery, any chemotherapy, any radiotherapy, would just take different things that she researched, which was, CBT, was it cannabis oil and carrot juice and etc. And this lady who claimed that it happened to her and she'd done these things, and she was using thermal scans to try, and she convinced this lady that, oh yeah, the thermal scan, now it looks like it's gone. And then 18 months later, the cancer metastasized, and we see her being carried on a coffin by her brothers. And therefore, she was ill-advised. But the problem is she's able to make her own decision. If she had taken, it's possible that if she took in the surgery and the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, she may still have died within 18 months. She may have died before. The treatment may have been, too much. And, it is a grueling treatment. So, it's possible, it could have still metastasized, and, we could sit here and say, well, yeah, she might have done that. She could have got, a few months longer. So I get it on that basis. But then, of course, you've got the guy who, he looked like when he went to Germany, and I assume the Germany operation, it seemed to help a little bit, but I don't know if that's also to do with what was given to him in the NHS. But the problem with him doing that is then the NHS stopped his chemotherapy because they were worried about him bleeding because of the surgery he was doing in Germany. They weren't, I assume, compatible because of dangers that it caused. And in the end, neither of them stopped. Well, he was at stage 4 because they missed something. Cancer spread. And what I don't understand is because he had stage 3, they gave him chemotherapy and they surgically removed whatever, but they didn't notice there was other cancer. But the chemotherapy they gave him, that didn't stop. Or I don't know, like when you give chemotherapy, is it targeted or does it go through the whole body? Why it didn't attack those bits they missed? Yeah, but it's a terribly sad story because you see these, it's because I'm watching it when they've already passed so long ago, both of them, and yet you're seeing them alive and taking their journey, and they filmed it over 7 years, and it's a really interesting documentary. It's worth the watch on Netflix at the moment. I think it was The Cancer Conflict, and just, the guy goes through, like, I think he made music videos and stuff before, but he goes to great lengths going to Germany and doing these things and taking this pain and all the things that he does because he just wants to stay alive for his wife and himself. And I know there would be an argument between, like, if you just, quality of life versus trying to keep alive, that kind of argument. But it looked like when he started doing the alternative drug that they gave him, because when they found him on stage 4, they had to put him on something else. I wonder whether if there weren't cameras and if he wasn't semi-famous, professional famous, that would they have given him the same treatment? I don't know. I don't know if it was a private doctor who was in, I think it was from Brighton actually, but anyway, whether just seeing, the struggle they both, especially him, went through, and even her thinking that she trusted this lady who said, she had done the thermal and done these things, and her cancer had gone, and I suspect she's still sitting in her office, and who knows whether, because unfortunately the documentary didn't seem to do any digging on this lady, whether, they could prove, I suppose, things you can't get medical records because you need consent. So someone can say anything and you wouldn't actually be able to verify it. They could even show you a piece of paper and it still could be fake, especially in this day and age where you can manufacture everything very easily. You probably get, AIs to do it for you, although they do have like protections for certain things. But just the fact that this lady thought, she'd beaten it and All she had to do was drink this carrot juice and this oil, suppositories and etc. Maybe she was too scared to have the surgery. I don't know why she didn't, because a lot of the people they interviewed for research that, did both together. I mean, then there's no harm. But I suppose what really needs to be done out of all of this, and maybe would help in the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry, is actually doing proper research, because some of these things haven't been researched, like the CBD oil and these other things. They need to be properly clinically done in a clinical environment. The problem is that people say, yeah, but these pharmaceutical companies, they make this stuff. Why would they, put themselves out of business and all that kind of stuff? Well, there's nothing else we can do, because unfortunately that's the system that we're all voting in all the time. So we just have to trust and hope that, they need to do proper research. I mean, if we all really wanted to be able to get truthful information, we all really wanted to be cured of all these diseases and be able to trust physicians, then we need to change our system, because it's our system that causes all that, because of money. If we took money out of it, if we took, because if you take money out of it and we change our way of life, our way of looking at each other, like with the borders and us not actually all being all human beings, like I bang on about all the time. If you change that, or at least if you took the money out of it, and then there would be no reason for, there would be no benefit for me to make a medicine that lasts longer, because then I have to keep producing it. If I can make a medicine that cures you straight away, then that's actually beneficial, because there's no money to be made out of it being of being long, and also there's no money stopping me from continuously researching on any different thing. And why we limit ourselves? You see, like you go to your hospital, they can't give you something because of money. This man had to go to Germany to get this treatment because the NHS can't afford it in the UK, or that the benefit doesn't outweigh. Sometimes also when you're stage 4, they won't give you something because they think, well, there's nothing that can be done, so it's palliative care. All that kind of mindset would change. That is upon us because of money restrictions. You wouldn't have to, because we have the materials to do all the tests, the machines, we have the chemicals, we have the people, we have the brains, we have all that stuff. So you could do it in a world without money. It's only that restricts us from finding these things, and the way that we don't, because of money, say one company won't talk to another because they both want to get to it first. They both want to patent it first, and then someone will alter it slightly and make their own version of it and all that kind of malarkey, which may not be as good as the original one, just because they want to make money and compete. We remove that money, there's no need for all of that. We all share all the information. You could work together. You could concentrate that energy, that time on working things out. I think we would find a lot more cures and a lot more things with that. We'd still have the competition for it was me that did it, my name, if that's what, makes people do these things. They want to be famous. But I suspect a lot of people want to do it because they've had family members that have died of these things, and they want to help humanity, because in that, I think, is that there is an innateness of that in us all. I assume that's why we're called, why the word humanity is humane, and why it's part of that. So yeah, that's if we want to solve this problem, we have to get rid of money. We have to change the system. We have to change the way that we look at each other, that we start looking at each other outside of our boxes, and the truth, intrinsic truth, and undeniable truth that I always gone on about, that we're all human beings, humanity. And then we could solve all these problems. Maybe we wouldn't, but I think we'd stand a much better chance than putting the restriction of money, because then we'd be able to build the best hospitals everywhere, because it wouldn't be a money constraint. You wouldn't have to say, no, you can't have this because our budget doesn't have it. And why do we have that restriction of money? It's not like we don't have enough people. It's not like we don't have enough resources. As long as we share with each other. And what would be the fault with that? Because that would be helping us all out. Because at the end of the day, what are we all? We're not English, we're not American, we're not Chinese, we're not Russian, we're not Palestinian, not Israeli. What are we really all? When we're born, when we die. We're all human beings. And especially if you believe in God, because when you stand before him, that's what he's going to see. He's not going to see some man-made name that you called yourself, and your football team and all the details of your box of this country and this that were made up by men thousands of years ago because they wanted to own you and possess you and control you and make you fight against each other so that they could sit in their chairs and own more and get fat on your work. Come on, when are we going to wake up to this? I mean, I don't understand, because but I suppose the thing is, like, if actually people did listen to this, then I expect a lot of people, the people who would benefit, will be saying, no, well, that's utopia and that's kumbaya and we can't live like that and this is the way it is and it's the only way and it's the best way and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Anyway, here's the clips. It's worth a watch on Netflix, called The Cancer Conflict. And it's very sad, the story. I mean, it touched me. That's why I wanted to do this, because to see both of their struggles and the hope that they would live and survive this cruel disease that, like dementia, is so cruel. And I just feel that if we had a better world and a better understanding of how to spend our time in this place with each other, that we could find a way to stop these deaths. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.
End of September 2013, suddenly everything changed in my life.
Funny. I've seen her before too.
I've got a problem. When I go to the loo, there's blood, I'm bleeding.
So, can I just do your blood pressure?
Yeah, of course you can. And there was a number of suggestions: torn muscle, viral infection, irritable bowel syndrome. And I was even told that I could probably dismiss it being cancer because I was too young, too healthy, etc. Vital signs are good. I thought I should be okay. I believe and trust in the system. But it's a period of about 9 months. But it got to a point where I couldn't go to the loo at all. I did an endoscopy, and pretty much the minute the probe went up inside me, it found a tumour. It was stage 3 colon cancer. But stage 3 meant that in terms of long-term cure, surgery is really good at getting rid of tumours at an early stage. After I got the initial diagnosis, I remember saying to people, this isn't a death sentence. I'm young and fit. I want to beat this. So I was very much the opinion, get rid of the tumour, do whatever treatment, and I'll be back. So I went ahead with the surgery. I went on this course of chemotherapy.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
And that first scan after my treatment, I was told that there was no signs of cancer. But I've been completely misdiagnosed. I've got left side joint pain, impingement possibly in and around the joint on the right side. Post-operation, I've been complaining about the soreness in my back, and doctors, they came back and apologised that they'd missed on the previous scans that the cancer was in my bones, and that was what the pain was. It had been there all along. And they found tumours in 8 to 10 spots in my lungs, lower third of my liver, and 5 or 6 lymph nodes. They basically said, it's stage 4, it's terminal. Doctors had basically fallen asleep on their watch. At that stage, my faith and trust in that health system had evaporated. With stage 4, it's about pain management rather than treatment. It really felt like they were saying, let's measure you up for a coffin now. Suddenly my life, my future with my wife, and, disappearing into old age hand in hand, wasn't there anymore. can't give up. So I've got to decide what to do in order to stay alive.
We'll spend the next couple of days doing research then, yeah? Even if you just did some vitamin C injections to boost your immune system, it could just give your body a
just do
whole
the research.
booster, couldn't it?
Or do we concentrate on the medical treatment?
Grant, he would do anything to stay alive, but he has a very scientific mind.
I did a degree in marine biology, hydrobiology. I've always looked at statistics and data and come to the conclusion that alternative medicine doesn't have the data. So I had to make a decision about my treatment. But as a scientist, I wanted to follow the science. I did my own research.
Hello, Rob Glyn-Jones.
And then I come across Dr. Rob Glyn-Jones. And the first thing he said is, I think we can do something with you. I think we can treat you.
I was just going to do a CT scan tomorrow and see what we see.
Offering me things the other doctors and consultants he hadn't even mentioned.
This is the problem.
He gave me hope.
The kind of message that he must have got was, well, you probably, why bother, mate? You're it's hopeless. You might just want to go away and, enjoy what time you have left.
Dr. Glyn-Jones put Grant on a drug known as aflibercept, which helps to stop blood flow to the tumours.
I thought I can beat this. And then, through a number of recommendations, my wife and I had found a Facebook website where a lot of cancer sufferers basically share information. Then I come across a way of administering chemotherapy in a different way, called TAC, TACE. I want to see if it would improve my chances, if it would either turn things around or stabilise things. But the only problem is, it's not available in the system. If you want it, you have to get it from Germany.
Morning, not having to wait so long today.
Yeah, I'm rigged up.
That makes a
Is that?
No, it's just that you bounded round the corner.
Bounded? Well,
You appeared to be.
it's early in the day. I've got more energy this time.
I talked about me as a personality, liking to have control, and he talked about adjusting the treatment to suit me, my particular needs.
Sure. And I negotiated with Grant that his taste treatment in Germany would be on top of what we were going to do, rather than instead of what we were going to do. I would propose to go on with the treatment.
Oh, I bloody hope so, yeah. I began to wrestle back control.
But Grant's plan seems to be working. And now his German doctor wants to launch a new attack on the cancer, using lasers to burn away what's left.
Biscuits. Rob here is standing in instead of my wife.
Only in the capacity of... We'll take you to the hospital.
Sure.
He's faced death. He had 3 months to go, and then he came out here for treatment. I get quite emotional, really, because he just said, right, I've got cancer. A matter of fact, I'm going to fight it. He seems to have kind of taken his own condition on himself. I'm incredibly proud of him.
Can I get you to look after this, Rob?
He's probably my best mate. So he's like a brother to me. So, yeah.
Good morning.
If I can get these tumours lasered, then effectively I'll be technically in remission.
If you feel anything, you let me know. Is it painful? Painful? It's only because it's near the ribs. Inhale, keep the arm up. Over.
However, starting this treatment has presented Grant with a crucial decision. the lasers can cause internal bleeding. And because Grant is taking aflibercept, which affects the blood's ability to clot, this bleeding could have serious implications.
I've spoken to my UK oncologist, and he did suspend my UK chemo.
He stopped the aflibercept because he was doing laser treatment.
Yeah. They didn't want the risk of bleeding.
And how do you feel about that?
Feel a bit outmaneuvered by Grant, because I kind of thought we had negotiated an agreement. Now, she's not having systemic treatments, but if there are any active cancer cells in other parts of the body, there could be a problem here.
Something you approved of? Or?
You have to be respectful of the patient's ideas. If you don't respect their ideas, they won't work with you, or they'll just go straight to another consultant. So there's no point just sort of saying you're an idiot or I think you're wrong or whatever. You can challenge people.
My mindset was, I should be okay.
2 months later.
Enough chairs in there.
We need a bus with it. What Glyn Jones said to me was that if the tumours are burnt and don't show up any PET scans, and my treatment would cease. I'm feeling so positive.
So, how are you?
Obviously slightly nervous about the results and where we are with things.
Well, our scans, our PET scan shows that things have got worse.
Is that everywhere, or?
I think one of the things that the PET scan does is it shows activity in a number of different sites. And I think it's fair to say that those sites that we saw before, they're all a bit worse.
Right.
And I can also now see one thing in your liver.
Right.
A single thing in your liver.
Okay, which did go but has come back.
The implications of this are not good, I'm afraid.
It seemed that everything's going in the right direction. Suddenly, there's this growth happening again.
I'm losing at the moment, aren't I? I'm losing.
No, I think you need to get started on the chemo treatment that's going to get everything, rather than targeted, because that's not going to capture the things you can't see that are floating around in the system.
Yeah. I mean, there are options to try Avastin.
Avastin, yeah. Fine. Avastin.
If you decided you wanted to go ahead with that, how soon would it start?
The Avastin. I'm not sure until I get permission for that. But I would say another 6 or 8 weeks.
Quite a long time.
In the meantime, just because there was that initial success, I should have tried a treatment in Germany on Wednesday. I'm not giving up.
No, you're not giving up, and I'm not telling you to give up, but
yeah, it's not the news we want.
Could have been better news.
Could have been worse,
He goes through coughing fits, pretty bad ones. I think it's quite exhausting.
Do you know anything about what's happened? Is anybody in touch with you?
We try to bring the Avastin forward a little bit, but they're not able to do that. So we have to wait.
There seems to be administrative issues with it. And of course, in the meantime, my health has been deteriorating. The cancer doesn't take Sundays off. It's a 24/7 condition. So I'm somewhat frustrated.
It's frustrating because you would like to bring things forward because I had good reasons to do so. Everyone does their best and it gets you pretty pissed off because the system is struggling. So you feel empathy for the patient.
So I'm back in Germany.
All the drugs will work in the next 3 hours. I see you later.
Please breathe in and
hold your breath.
Professor Vogel took me to one side, and I thought, oh, here we go. Bruce's cancerous cell growth wasn't there 5 weeks ago, and it's now filling about a quarter of his lung. So no matter how much chemo he has through Professor Vogel, who's targeting the lungs and the liver, this area won't be affected at all. It will just keep growing and growing.
Okay. Just
Professor Vogel said, I feel that he won't. He's not going to last till Christmas.
He stopped him because he was doing laser treatment.
Yeah. The first course of aflibercept completed April, and then we had a gap.
How long was the gap?
6 months.
So he had 6 months without any chemo from you.
Yeah.
Oh, darling. I want to live. That's what I want. Oh, my love. The health authority, they could determine that I'm palliative with this new development, and the Avastin is withheld. Because it's about money, isn't it? It's about saving money. Why spend money on a lost cause?
If you're that terminal, you're not going to be that much expense, are you?
This is it. It's just fucking nuts, isn't it? You got to think like this at the time when you're dying.
This is like the bane of my life, having this juice. I have to carry it around with me everywhere till I drink it. So I've just been very, very overwhelmed with my cancer journey, feeling very alone and being completely swamped with all the stuff that I need to do and not have the energy to do it. This one's not as nice.
With complementary and alternative treatments, the options are almost endless. Nothing Surinder has taken has been proven to work or specifically designed to treat cancer. But according to the American Cancer Society, with surgery and follow-up treatments, Surinder has an 84% chance of no reoccurrence for 10 years. In the medical world, that's considered cured.
Would you have the mastectomy, not the chemo, but just the mastectomy?
Absolutely not.
Right.
And a mastectomy is just treating the symptom. It's just cutting away the cancer, but not the cause of it. I wanted to treat the cause.
We're going to start off with a few words to you, Golu.
Golukwa, I love you. I admire you. Your strength and resilience, your determination to pave your own path.
You stay strong and push through no matter how upset or unwell you are. I just want to say thank you for always being there here for us.
And I hope you always are.
Happy birthday, Golukwa. I love you. Oh, Maya, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. When I told my family about the cancer in the first place, I think I was really unprepared for their reaction.
When Surinder told me that she had the cancer, it was a very rational response and not an emotional response. Almost on one level, okay, she's got cancer.
That devastated me. Each of my brothers, and they've all been detached emotionally since I was young, since my mum died.
Our mother passed when I was 10 with cancer, and I think we all buried the pain and didn't really grieve. Over the last 37 years it's been, we still have not come together as a family to talk about it.
I want to get the brothers together here to the front of the room, please, and hold you and give you a lovely, lovely hug.
We've never done it. This is going to be the first time in history that we are going to surround you throwing immense and unconditional love for you.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for that speech. It always does seem to be very, very open-hearted at the time, and then they'll just retreat again.
My relationship with Surinder, yes, she wants more. Yes, she wants the emotional support, but I'm unable to give it at this particular time.
She's got cancer.
I'm not saying I don't want to. By any means, I want to give her everything, but I'm unable to.
I don't want to commit to suddenly being able to give Surinder what she's yearned for most of her life, because I'll be setting myself up for failure.
This is loneliness and isolation is very painful. Thank you. Happy birthday. I really believe that energy, the way we think and the way that we feel, really influences the physical body. I believe healing this would reverse this cancer. But I feel like I need the emotional support to do that.
According to the US National Library of Medicine, a higher stress level can speed up cancer progression. However, there is currently no evidence linking a better emotional state to curing cancer.
I want to meet like-minded people along the way that can help strengthen me.
Hi, Surinder. Come in, Surinder. Hello, my lovely.
Hi.
Come and sit down there.
I'll be speaking to Rosa about an alternative to an MRI and CT scan.
And is she qualified as
Thermal imaging.
And this is what I personally did as well.
Rosa Hughes is a homeopath who believes she has stabilised a tumour in her own breast using alternative methods.
Tumour is not the problem anyway, as we know. But I know because I've been there myself. With me, I was not living the life that I wanted to live. So it's about changing everything, isn't it?
One of the reasons why I have the tumour in the first place is the lack of the right type of emotional support.
Okay, I'm going to be scanning your breast from about this level down to here.
Unlike mammograms and CT scans, which use radiation to detect tumours, thermography uses body temperature as an indication of activity in the tumour. Therefore, some promote it as a safer alternative.
Right, turn and face the camera for me now, please.
However, thermography cannot confirm that cancer is present. It can only show that there are changes which need further investigation. And the US Food and Drug Administration warns it should only be used alongside mammograms.
Okay, I've done all the scans.
I'm worried that it's spread into my armpit and beyond.
You just got to keep going with it. I'm sure it will all go very well.
No sugar.
Wow, thank you so much.
Surinder's research has led her to a device called a Rife machine.
It uses electromagnetic pulses to attack the cancer.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Theory is that the more oxygen I have in my body, the more uninhabitable environment it is for the cancer.
And a strict regime of juicing for vitamin C.
Lovely.
Along with a pill that sounds too good to be true.
This is a miracle herb. It smells like ash. It's supposed to cure cancer, I think. This guy reckons the tumour would have started to go within 15 days, which is what happened to his business partner's daughter.
And this person who's given it to you, is he a doctor? Is he reputable in terms of medicine or anything like that? Or is he
No. But he's been researching it and case examples of its success.
Anecdotal.
Most of it's anecdotal.
Have there ever been any, clinical trials?
No, it's that strange thing, because there's no pharmaceutical involvement at all.
Has there been clinical trials for the Rife machine?
No, I don't think so. I'm happy with anecdotal evidence. There's people saying, I carried on eating meat, I carried on eating ice cream, I carried on my normal lifestyle, I didn't change anything other than drink a lot of carrot juice. All of this is normally packed as well, and my cancer's gone. That's quite powerful for me.
Well, if it's true, yeah.
Recommendations from other cancer patients play a big role in leading people towards alternative treatments.
Cutting them just makes it easier to put them through.
But when up to 90% of patients use alternatives alongside evidence-based medicine, what is it that makes the case for completely unproven approaches seem so persuasive?
Here we go. Hello?
So I went in, I got the mastectomy, and I was doing coffee enemas, and I was juicing.
Chemotherapy and cannabis oil.
6 months of chemotherapy, and so I did juicing.
Being cancer-free, what do you attribute that to?
I think it's got to be the cannabis oil.
It's a toss between the cannabis and the ketogenic diet.
The alternative really helped me a lot.
Despite the proven value of the conventional medicine they had, most of these people have more faith in the unproven alternatives.
Thanks. They've all had surgery and a huge amount of conventional treatment, yet they say, oh no, it's the cannabis oil and it's the diet and lifestyle. That's interesting.
I've got some hemp oil here.
And for many cancer patients we spoke to, cannabis oil is the holy grail.
It's been suggested to me to take as a suppository. Yeah, very glamorous.
I had surgery, radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and then I started medicating with cannabis oil. I had the great results in January of this year. There are no cancer cells.
Do you think as a result of the cannabis oil or a combination of everything that you've done?
No, I think it's the cannabis oil.
Many advocates for cannabis oil, or CBD, refer to a study by the Queen Mary University of London on the effects of CBD on pancreatic cancer cells in mice. The cells were given a combination of CBD and chemotherapy, and the cells with CBD survived 3 times longer. Pharmacologist David Cahoon responded to a question about the trial. His response was generally sceptical, but mainly because the study was on cell cultures, which is good, but it's not a reliable predictor of activity in humans. Ultimately, the study means, at best, worth another look.
He died in my arms. I was thinking, oh God, I've lived with this body even, let alone the person, for 20 years.
We went through about 100 songs last night.
Yeah.
And then I said, I know the song. As soon as we played it, we knew, didn't we? That was the one.
Yeah, so Grant's coffin is going to be carried into the church up to the pulpit. And when they come in, this is what's going to play.
Cancer happens even after the cancer's killed the patient, to those ones left behind.
As soon as the medical furniture was out here, I thought, right, it's time to feel at home again, and I decided to bring all the cards up, and I got his American football helmet, and that was the pillow his head was on. So I thought, okay, here's a little memorial, let's make a shrine. And one of the last things to go was this book. And I just thought, probably got a list in here. And there it was, the love note. It said, to my love, well, my darling, it feels as if this could be it. The whole day has been a physical and emotional struggle, and I am just so exhausted. I don't know if I have the energy to survive the night. So a hasty few lines jotted down may have to suffice, my love. Pictures of when Grant and I got married. On May the 1st this year, it will be 20 years. When Grant's therapist visit, she and Grant agreed that he really needed to learn to find a way to stop fighting, because he's always been that kind of character, just fight his way through things. She said, well, how about if you think of a paradise, somewhere you would like to go to? Use it as a means to calm yourself when you're having a breathing fit. So he said, it's the day that Chris and I got married in the temple in Bangkok.
be one regret. Never gave you a child.
Yeah, never mind.
If I could die now, I'd be happy.
For Grant, taking treatment into his own hands and going outside of the system gave him a sense of control over his destiny. But did taking this route ultimately help him? For Surinder, her choice to reject surgery and use alternatives reflects her beliefs. But when surgery is curative in the vast majority of cases like hers, is adhering to beliefs worth the risk of death?
Oh, the aftertaste isn't nice.
Do you feel 100% unshaken in the treatment route that you've chosen?
I am completely 100% clear and resolute that this is the right journey and the right path for me. What works for one person may not necessarily work for another.
Cancer is a messy disease, and even evidence-based treatment has no guarantee of success.
So much. Thank you so much.
But while patient choice is essential and doing whatever it takes to improve the odds is understandable,
keep fighting, you're doing a great job and you will get through it.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't hear that very often.
stepping away from the healthcare system often leads to convincing but misleading information.
To do this without surgery, without chemotherapy, without radiation, without drugs. I want to share my story.
And when it comes to cancer, relying on the advice of people who aren't expert is like playing Russian roulette.
Hi everybody. I'm a bit surprised that I'm here, but thank you, and I feel very honoured that you've asked me to speak. And I decided not to have surgery or chemo or radiation or drugs.
She died 18 months later.
Within 18 months of completing filming for this documentary, Surinder's tumour metastasised into her bones and lymph nodes. In December 2020, Surinder passed away after a valiant and extremely painful battle with breast cancer.